Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap that notification bell, and like this video. That really does help me keep making videos, and I would appreciate it majorly. Alright, so I was reading about this story before I came home tonight, and definitely was going to make a video about it, and that's what I'm doing. It's about the district judge in Newton, Massachusetts, which I believe is in or around Boston. She was charged in Boston. She was in court in Boston today on federal charges. It's a remarkable story. It really is, you know. And her name is Shelley, I think Richmond Joseph, and that's one of her pictures. Even though that's that's a previous picture. That's not from today. She left court. I saw. It's weird how your phone displays stories differently than on your own computer. But if I could, real quick, I'll show you the picture. It's not a huge deal, but she left court today visibly upset. Basically in tears. And she's facing along with a court officer whose last name is McGregor. I'm sure I'll get to his full name in a second. Are facing pretty serious charges of basically obstruction of justice, various versions of that. So, yeah, real quick. That's her leaving court today, and she's visibly upset, basically on the verge of tears there. So she's being accused, if I could just paraphrase, of helping an illegal immigrant who was in her court on a different charge, a drug possession charge, who had already been deported twice from the United States, who's of helping him evade ICE. An ICE officer agent came to court to seize the individual, for immigration reasons, and knew he was going to be in court on a drugs possession charge. And she basically, along with another court officer, helped the individual after his court appearance kind of sneak out the back door and evade being detained by the ICE agent. And in fact, even misled the ICE agent. It's pretty remarkable. It is. And we'll see, where this ends up. I mean, she's a district judge, and she's suspended without pay until this is resolved. She was indicted today. Okay, that's what her court appearance was today. So if I could just give you the charges very quickly, and then just kind of tell you the story from the Fox report and Massachusetts Live. Both Joseph and McGregor is the court officer, were indicted Thursday on counts of conspiracy to obstruct justice, aiding and abetting obstruction of justice, and aiding and abetting obstruction of a federal proceeding. And also McGregor was, I think, in addition to that, charged with perjury, allegedly falsely lying to the grand jury, which was convened in December to bring this indictment. I don't understand the entire legal process, but I believe that's what the U.S. attorney. That's when he convened a grand jury to bring these charges against this judge and this court officer. So over at Fox kind of summarizes the story pretty decently. Newton District Court Judge Shelley Richmond Joseph, and the court officer identified in court documents as Wesley McGregor faced several charges stemming from April 2018 when this happened, so basically a year ago. And supposedly, I'm not going to read through everything, he's already been deported from the country twice. I think he has a drunk driving charge against him in Pennsylvania, and supposedly I think he was barred from re-entering the country until 2027. His name in this that he used for this court proceeding for the drug possession charge in April 2018 is Jose Medina Perez. However, his real name is something else, and he goes by a number of different aliases. So when you hear, the court documents of what happened in this woman's courtroom, it's pretty unbelievable. It really is. And the same governor who appointed her, who's a Republican, by the way, his name is Charlie Baker, and he reported her back in 2017. It's a district judge. She makes $184,000 a year, and now she's suspended without pay by the Supreme Court of Massachusetts until this is resolved. I think I already said that, but he himself, the man who appointed her, felt she shouldn't be overseeing cases until this is resolved. And based on what he had read in the charges in the indictment, he that's how he felt, and it's pretty serious, man. I mean, obviously this is a political issue, and people are saying that, that the Trump administration is trying to set an example of her and send a message to anybody else assisting illegal immigrants in their, evasion of ICE agents. But the ICE agents frequently go to court to detain illegal immigrants for a number of reasons. One of which is, I read, is that there's metal detectors there, so they know they're not going to be faced with somebody that's armed. As well as they just know that they're going to be there at a certain date, time, and so forth. The Obama administration did this too. It's just a common practice of ICE, even though Trump has stepped it up big time. Has increased it dramatically. But bringing charges against a judge, federal charges for helping an illegal immigrant evade detention by an ICE agent, it's pretty dramatic, definitely. So, but her actions, at least as it's described here, are pretty bold and brazen, and so she maintains her innocence through her attorney, naturally. But so, let's see. It goes. Joseph and McGregor were both charged with obstruction of justice. Jose Medina Perez, the illegal immigrant, twice deported illegal immigrant with a fugitive warrant for drunken driving in Pennsylvania, had been in Joseph's courtroom in order to be arraigned on drug possession charges. The Boston Globe previously reported. Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey said in a statement that the indictment is a radical and politically motivated attack on our state and the independence of our courts. Medina Perez was the subject of an ICE detainer, a written request to hold an individual wanted for deportation for up to 48 hours. And an ICE agent was waiting in the lobby of the courthouse to detain Medina Perez after the arraignment, officials said. During the hearing, Joseph, the judge, asked Medina Perez's attorney, ICE is going to get him? ? According to courtroom records obtained by the Boston Globe in December and released in court documents Thursday, today. Medina Perez's lawyer was also heard telling Joseph, the judge, ICE will pick him up if he walks out the front door. Before I continue, in another article that I was reading on my phone earlier, she actually asked the ICE agent came into the courtroom first initially, and she asked him to wait in the lobby until this proceeding was finished. So it continues. Like I said, ICE will pick him up if he walks out the front door. This is Medina Perez's attorney, but I think the best thing for us to do is clear the fugitive issue and release him on a personal, and hope that he can avoid ICE. That's the best I can do. What if we detain him? The judge asked before requesting the clerk turn off the courtroom's audio recorder, leaving nearly a minute unrecorded. Minutes later, Medina Perez's attorney said his client has some property downstairs and needed to speak to an interpreter, which Joseph allowed, the judge. McGregor, who's the court, what do they call him? The court, not court official. I forget his title. McGregor's the other person charged with obstruction of justice. Then used his security access card to escort Medina Perez out of the courthouse without being seen by the ICE agent out the back of the courthouse. I think downstairs where the jailhouse is, with where the jail is, I believe. I might not have that right. With the recorder off, Defendant Joseph and the defense attorney discussed devising a way to have Medina Perez avoid being arrested by the ICE officer. Court documents stated the ICE agent continued to wait in the lobby, not knowing the illegal immigrant already left the building. Lelling said, that's the U.S. attorney, who is right there, I think in Boston. Adding, Joseph lied about the incident to her superiors when asked about it. It's pretty serious, man, these accusations, for sure. And then it goes on to say Joseph was appointed to the Newton District Judge by Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker in 2017 after serving as a criminal defense attorney and a prosecutor. She has a law firm, I think, with her husband that's Joseph and Joseph. So, and that Baker, after reports of Joseph's alleged intervention emerged in December, Baker, the person who appointed her, told reporters he believed Joseph should be benched while the incident was investigated. I don't believe she should be hearing criminal cases until that federal case is resolved, Baker said about Joseph. Look, judges are not supposed to be in the business of obstructing justice. And as far as I can tell, based on the facts as they were presented, she clearly violated the court's own policies with respect to the way they're supposed to handle continuance and involve federal immigration enforcement. Medina Perez's freedom was short-lived. He was arrested a month later. He actually goes by, his real name is Oscar Manuel Peguero, although he goes by several aliases. The 38-year-old native of the Dominican Republic had been previously deported in 2003, January 2003, and June 2007. Court officer is what the word I was searching for McGregor. So, and they're both charged. They don't have a picture of him with obstruction of justice. And, we'll see where this ends up. It's pretty unusual, definitely. And that is the story there. I mean, I don't know if that's her in court today or what. This article just kind of tells you about her nomination to that court. I think, actually, I don't know if she's wearing that same thing. It's kind of what got my attention was, that's her in court today. That's what she doesn't look happy, naturally. All right, well, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I will see you in the next video. Later, man.